A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also.
A blessed good day to you, my wisdom warriors. Wagwan, wagwan. I hope you guys are in good spirit.
I know paying for higher education is something that is hard and a lot of parents face great difficulty. So, some funds were allocated to the constituency of Western Westmoreland. So I'll be providing 60 grants, totaling 50,000 each grant for 60 students from the constituency of Western Westmoreland. So you must be from Western Westmoreland. So we'll be providing 60 grants, $50,000 each. You can call the number down below. If it is that you're not in the first 60, we will still register you and keep you on our file. So the next time around, you'll be first in line.
The Primetime News, and a special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. Up first this evening, relatives and friends of Chieftain Campbell are demanding justice for his death. The man was beaten by a mob and subsequently died at hospital. The people who knew him staged a demonstration in response to the case. Now the police in the meantime are probing the brutal killing. Here's Dwayne Anderson with that report.
Blocked roads and placards on display in what is usually a quiet rural southern Manchester community. The residents of Victoria Town are irate because one of their own is dead, and they want those responsible for his death to be brought to justice. Chieftain Campbell was mobbed and badly beaten by people in Mandeville who accused him of wrongdoing. He later died at hospital. The people are angry and frustrated. They say whatever his killers accused him of, they were wrong, because Mr. Campbell was one of their best sons.
He served as member of the school board and many other boards in the community. He is indeed a nation builder, and I can just imagine how he felt when he was being slaughtered yesterday, because this is of course a moral atrocity and is really bad and painful this morning. The entire community has lost someone who we look up to, and I call on the powers that be to do a full investigation.
According to the people who knew him, Mr. Campbell was days away from starting a new journey in his life.
This man went in Mandeville yesterday to do business with his wife, who came to marry him, which would happen on Thursday coming.
His common law wife is distraught.
We need some empathy in this country. My heart is broken. I don't know if I can ever come back to Jamaica. I have land in Jamaica. I'm trying to build a house in Jamaica. I wanted to retire here. I'm 66 years of age. And this was my dream. And my dream is broken because I take the only man who I know for 30 years. For 30 years, I know him. I'm going to take him from me.
She said while he was innocent, it is still not the place of residence to determine innocence or guilt.
And you already hit him, and he's already subdued. Can't go to the hospital, make him get help. Because you don't get him for trying, you don't get him for him tell him tired of the story, you don't find out so this is an upstanding man in our community and the love of his country.
The police in Manchester are investigating the mob killing. But Mr. Campbell's common law wife said the police also have questions to answer.
Lean up, say I wait for a vehicle. How much time is the police stop van, stop taxi and put people in it and say carry them go to hospital? And nobody did that. And now the police are saying that the reason why that happened is because it's foot patrol.
One resident in the meantime wants Jamaicans to be vigilant of some new criminal schemes. He theorizes that the real criminals may have been the instigators of the mob attack.
He was approached and robbed by criminals who, after robbing him, called out that this man did a robbery, so they accused him wrongfully after robbing him. I would like to implore to members of the public, desist from contributing or participating in act of terror against our own brothers. There are criminals going around robbing people, calling out that they are criminal and getting the public help to beat the person who is the victim of the crime. And this has been happening for a while. It's a trend in Kingston, and I'm finding out that it's currently in Maypen, Mandeville, and other towns.
Dwayne Anderson, TVJ News.
So in regards to the imitation firearm that we are now talking about, the 15 to 20 years, so here is an article breaking it down for you. So we're going to read from this article. All right. So a water gun are two metal pipes bound together which has the appearance of a double-barrel shotgun found in your possession can be considered an imitation firearm, which attracts a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison. Under the new Firearm Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Act 2022. All right, so this is not anything new. It's been here since 2022. An imitation firearm is considered a prohibited weapon and is defined as anything which has the appearance of being a firearm but is not a firearm, whether or not such imitation firearm is capable of discharging a shot, bullet, or missile. While an imitation firearm lacks the capacity of a real loaded firearm to kill or injure, it has much the same capacity to frighten and enforce compliance, as imitation firearms are almost indistinguishable, from the real thing, and those threatened have little opportunity or indication to examine the nature of the weapon used, and is there no surprise that Parliament has legislated to criminalize the use and possession of imitation fire. All right, so I'm just gonna let you pause to read this part because it is not making much sense for me. All right, so here's another section of it. Career Day is widely celebrated. Children wearing custom outfitted police and soldier uniform, and some have toy guns to complete their look. Interestingly, but for the Protection Act section 63, the Child Care and Protection Act stating that it shall be consecutively presumed that no child under the age of 12 shall be guilty of an offense. A child caught in possession of a toy gun would be liable under Section 5 of the Firearms Act of having in their possession a prohibited weapon. All right, so I guess child or whatever would be somebody under 12. That's what they're considering. All right, so if you are under 12, you will be charged under Section 5 of the Firearms Act. All right, so if you're over 12, then you will be charged like a regular person. And why would we want to charge our children basically like adults? To me, this has nothing to do with like an actual firearm. It has to do with this new prison, and they're just looking for bodies to fill this new prison. And that is my opinion, you know. And you don't have to agree with me, you know, because I know the die-hearted them are going to come and jump on my thing and say 1 p.m., but that's okay. Might be 1 p.m. for you, but it's 12 o'clock for me. So we're not the same. You understand? 1 p.m. for you, at 12 o'clock for me at lunchtime. Yeah. So with all of that being said, right, I'm going to bring up another art. So for imitation firearm, right, it has not been used to commit a lot of crimes, like, you know. So the drastic penalty on it, however, a lot of kids can be caught using this imitation firearm, and I think because this new prison, they will need strong bodies because it is an investment. They will need strong bodies to carry out the work that is needed to be done behind bars. All right, so let's read this part. There's no specific data available for the percentage of crimes committed in Jamaica using imitation firearm over the past 10 years. However, data from the Jamaica Crime News Analyst 2010 to 2022 shows that guns, again, guns, real guns, not imitation gun, 81.1% were used. In the majority of violent crimes, 100% of shooting involves guns. All right, let me move this. It is known that possession of an imitation firearm with the intent to cause fear or danger carries a 15-year sentence. All right, so that's all good and well. It carries a 15-year sentence, right? But how do you see somebody playing with a gun and decide that, oh, they would use it to do harm or try to do harm, right? And it shows that 19.9% of the crimes that are done outside of guns, right? Because guns are responsible for 81.1%, right? So outside of that, right? So you now have to take into consideration people who use knives to commit the crime, people who use their hands, people who use acid, people who use everything except a firearm to commit a crime is a part of that 19.9%, right? And you're going to put such a harsh penalty on imitation firearm when we know that it is majority children that plays with imitation firearm. To me, you're looking for strong bodies that you can hold in prison for a long time, and they still keep up. Because when you take up a 40-50-year-old man, put in a prison, now a portion of time left to live. So as an investment, that would not be a good investment. And I'm looking at this now from an investment point of view. I would want the strongest bodies and the best minds, which are young people. So this Imitation Firearm Act, to me, it holds hand with the new prison law, with the new prison that is slated to be built. And I'm going to do a thing on the new prison and see how far along it is. So just imagine, right? The government of Jamaica decides he wants to give 15 years for a water gun, right? And an additional 5 years if you try to explain the use of a water gun. To me, that's dictatorship, and I don't like it. However, why are you criminalizing our children? Children who will grow up, 98% of these children will not be a criminal in their adult life, because we know that criminal is like less than 1%. Right? So these are children who will most likely not grow up to be criminals. Why are you criminalizing them? Why are you so desperate to put our children in prison? Because let's be honest, adults don't really walk around playing with water gun. It's the children's, especially the preteens. You know, between walking age to 1 year old. Those are the ones that walk around with water gun. Why are you trying to put those type of... Imagine my 3-year-old going to prison for 15 years for having a water gun. Does that make sense to you, sir? Does that actually make sense to you? Let me tell you, this is not the prosperity that Jamaica voted for. And this is not prosperity. Because there is no way you can send somebody's child to prison for having a water gun for 15 to 20 years. That in itself is nonsense. And it needs to be looked into. And this law needs to be withdrawn. This law needs to be taken off the book. This law should not be put in place. This is a mess.
Anyway, my people, we're moving on because me there wait from morning for them post Andrew Holness in a courthouse all now. But anyhow, my sister them post Norman Scott. My people, you know, say they set up this. They set up a man, you know. They set up the man because me want to know how comes the president of the parliament is the lawyer for this labor rights supporter. Then this no conflict of interest. This has to be conflict of interest. No, sir. This not right, Jamaica. This not right. And guess what? I just remember something. At the same time, Tavares, you know, the president of the parliament, you know, is the lawyer for the boy who murder Barbara, we unalive Barbara. Tom Tavares. Jamaica, una hear what me I tell you, no? Una hear what me I tell you, no? You understand? This woman planned this, but she raised her hand. She raised her hand and I assault the man and have her damn hand up in the man's face. Me said the man should have lick your dog, make you knock out and you never wake up, dirty girl. Uno too liar, wicked, and gotta go deal with uno. So my people, take a look at this. Judge orders Norman Scott be fingerprinted in election day assault case. Uno hear all them something you know? Mighty God. Boy, this a judge ya work hardy. This a judge ya work hard for Norman Scott. And when them fi work on Christopher Tufton, Andrew Holness and Ruel Reid, the whole of them get freed. Every single one of them get freed. When they fi work on the police commissioner, judge a step down and a remove herself from court case. Me people, them are something you know right. So how this a judge a just onto Norman Scott, onto Norman Scott? The man say him never do it. Most of them in their labor right, my people. Most of them. And me I go read it out. Because me have the receipt right here. So Spanish Town Mayor Norman Scott was ordered to have his fingerprint recorded by the police when he appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court in Santa Cruz on Monday morning. Why they want the man fingerprint? For do what? For set up the man life. And that you say uno look a drunk row, you say uno court system, but uno want for uno court, the appellate court to be the last court in Jamaica. That now go happen because we the people now go allow that uno too corrupt.
Each candidate is given 5 minutes. They did polling station, which took 35 minutes. I asked them to let me know and not create any problems, but we don't want something happen when the someone decided to come around. A police officer was there. He tried to push my father and I raised my hand to say to him, please hit me. As soon as I raised my hand, Mr. Scott hit me in the face. My glasses fell to the ground and I took it up, it was broken.
My wisdom warriors, on the hear but she raise her hand and say, please, lie she a tell. Lie the dirty red king gal a tell. Lie she a tell Jamaica. She have up her hand up in the man face. Me say Norman Scott, you should have lick out her blouse and skirt for true. The whole of them lie and wicked, you know. These people are some dangerous people, you know. This is why me always tell PNP, you know, to ramp with them. Me always tell PNP ministers, don't play with them, because them dangerous. Them wicked, they will set up their life. You understand me? Just like what them do to Norman Scott right now. Just like what them do to the man right now. The whole of them in their labor right. Every single one of them are labor right. So then set up the man life. And that them do. And then you have the judge account chat boy ordering this and ordering that. For what? For no finish off a man. PNP supporters, you need to go out in on the numbers. You need to go out in on the numbers. You understand? For me get to understand, say Tom Tavares him ask for faith because him want prosecute Norman Scott. Lord Jesus. Hey, PNP supporters, you need to go and protest about these things. Because every single thing will happen, it is political. I set up the man. A long time them a fight against Norman Scott, you know. A long time them a fight against Norman Scott in Jamaica. St. Elizabeth, Jamaica, Spanish Town Mayor Norman Scott was ordered to have his fingerprint recorded by the police when he appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court in Santa Cruz on Monday morning. Scott, the defeated People's National Party candidate for St. Elizabeth Southeast in the recent September 3rd election, is before the court after he was charged with assault occasioning actual bodily harm and malicious destruction of property following an incident involving Jamaica Labour Party indoor agent Julie Francis at a polling station, BB Coke High School in Junction. A police report said that about 12 p.m. on September 3rd, Scott visited the polling station and stayed a little longer than the allotted time. Police said an agent attempted to inform him that his allotted time at the facility had already been spent, resulted in a commotion. Police said another agent intervened to quell the uproar and was struck to the face by Scott before his security detail removed him from the location. Following the incident, a report was made to the police and an investigation was launched into the matter. Police said summons for the aforementioned offences were formally served on the mayor on Friday, September 12. When Scott made his first court appearance before Parish Court Judge Steve Walters on Monday, he was represented by attorney-at-law Charles Ganga Singh. The complainant in the matter, Julie Francis, was represented by a team of lawyers led by King's Counsel Tom Tavares Finson. How that them are sitting in a conflict of interest? He's the president of the Senate. What him a do this, sir? What him a do this, Jamaica? You see the whole of this here when me see so far, I set up the man, them plan it. And she can't come tell nobody, but she raise her hand and talk about, please, lie she a tell. Lie she a tell Jamaica. She can't come tell we say she a talk about please and this and that and the man just box her so. Lie the girl a tell. Lie the girl a tell. Me say, I wish Norman Scott did lick out her backside. She full of too much chat and too lie. The whole of them are lied. And Jamaica Labour Party is very dangerous. And I want PNP to look upon this here. You sleep on my death. Because these people are dangerous. The lead attorney for Francis said the presiding judge agreed with his request to apply for a fiat to prosecute Scott. This is Tom Tavares we are talking about, you know, the president of the Senate in Jamaica. The president of the Senate. So you see, when time Labour writer do things, they might go to the extra mile. That's why I want PNP all the time to ramp with these people because they're dangerous. Eh? Can you imagine? The first thing when me see them do when me not like is them a order Norman Scott for fingerprint. Me not like that. Me not like that there. I know them a talk about they want to come prosecute Norman Scott. After the man plead not guilty, the man never done nothing. Stop tell lie on the man. Stop tell lie. But I say, you girl, you Julie Francis, we are tell lie on Norman Scott. God not sleep. That's all me have to tell you. God is not sleeping. My people, I'm still out here waiting on Andrew Holness. Because I know I not see news media post nothing about Andrew Holness. Because Andrew Holness for day in a courthouse today. And I not see the news media post nothing. I hope this a case and a drop. I hope Jamaica, Lord Jesus, me I tell you no. Seriously. Andrew Holness for the courthouse from 10 o'clock. At what time now? How the news media them a do? Hey, the whole of the news media them compromise, you know. The whole of them, they get buyout. The whole of them get buyout. The whole of them. Andrew Holness supported by the elites and the whole media get buyout. It is very sad for Jamaica. My people, yes, I'm going to left it. Wanna tell me what you think, wanna tell me how you feel about this, and put an honest opinion in the comment section. Like up the video, share it out, and subscribe to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, welcome, and big up on a nice clean self. One love.